Hey darlings, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day and thank you for watching. Today is finally the day. We're talking about the feminine archetypes. Yeah! So I'm wearing this Barbie dress, pink dress, super pink, but as I always say on my channel, I love talking about femininity and there are different types of feminine archetypes, and I wanted to describe to you my own feminine archetypes, not someone else, just my own research and my own view on feminine archetypes. And at the end of the video, I want you to tell me which archetype is you, which archetype do you feel the most attracted to. Of course, you can be multiple archetypes. Myself, I think I'm multiple ones. I think I recognize even myself in all of them. You can be all of them as well. You can be one, you can be two, you can be three, you can be all of them. So if you want to know which feminine archetype you are, keep on watching. But first, just wanted to let you know that if you want to see more of my content, I talk about fashion, femininity, old Hollywood glamour, seduction, dating, and anything to level up and to make you become the best version of yourself and to transform yourself into a high caliber woman. Feel free to join the channel, the link is down below. Also follow me on my Instagram, which is at LisaHeartstyle. I'm going to describe the archetype, I'm going to describe a little bit why men love this archetype in particular, and I'm also going to describe the downside of the archetype, so the negative aspect if you take the archetype to the extreme, because there's always a negative aspect to everything. I am going to also talk about the fashion of each archetype, but of course you can be this archetype without dressing like this. You can be an archetype and dressing like another archetype. You can have the energy of one and dressing like another one. It's not strict at all. The first archetype is the lady. Classic, elegant, ladylike, sophisticated. The lady is really proper. Good manners. She has social intelligence and know how to behave in any situation. She is aware that making a good first impression is essential. Therefore, she dressed very appropriately and pays attention to details. She loves classic fashion, timeless cut. She loves timeless cut, a style inspired by Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn, Kate Middleton, even Charlotte in Sex and the City, and Brie Vandekamp also in Desperate Housewife is really the archetype of the lady to the extreme. She's very, very classic, obsessed with first impression, obsessed with being perfect, and you know, the lady can be a big perfectionist.
Brie was known for her cooking, and for making her own clothes, and for doing her own gardening, and for reupholstering her own furniture.
Because yes, when you're very elegant, you can become a bit perfectionist. I struggle with that sometimes. The lady has an excellent posture, can be proper, she can be charming, she has excellent conversation skills. She is very educated as well and knows what is appropriate, what is not appropriate to talk about. Men really admire her elegance, her ability to present herself in the best way possible. They love to be with her at their arm, her culture, her good manners, her gracefulness as well. You know, especially when men are very powerful and they have to go to a lot of events, they have to present themselves in a certain way. They love having a lady like this because she knows how to adapt herself to any situation. She knows how to dress appropriately for any occasion. She will know to a gala to dress like this. She can be able to go to a gala as well as meeting the parents, as well as meeting the queen. She can adapt herself very, very well. She can present herself as very refined. She is mostly a fabulous hostess and very close to her community.
Anyone who'd ever been to a party at Brie Vandekamp's thought of her as the perfect hostess because Brie knew how to take care of her guests.
She has high standards in everything in her life. She's very picky and mostly achieve a very luxurious lifestyle. Men really love to have a woman like her around their arms because they are very proud. It's like her elegance represents them very, very well. They know that they can count on her to have the best image possible, and mostly those kind of couple tend to have a perfect couple image, a power couple. Like also a style like Amal Clooney. She's definitely the lady in terms of the archetypes. The downside of the lady now, if you talk about the lady to the extreme would be being too much of a perfectionist and being too stiff and being too rigid, too uncomfortable, being able to loosen up. It's very important because men don't like, as much as they like an elegant lady, sometimes the downside of it is that she's too controlling, she's too strict, she will be too much of a perfectionist, and men don't like it. They love to be with someone that they can have fun with and that can loosen up, that can, you know, be fun and joyful to be around. Of course, it's always super nice to have someone to go with event with, but events is not everyday life. So everyday life has to be more fun, especially masculine men. They work a lot, so once they go home, they want to be around a pleasant lady that is just, you know, a little bit more relaxed. It's just like in Desperate Housewife, you know, he has a perfect housewife, his house is clean, his wife is just absolutely perfect, like her hair don't even move, that's what he said. And he doesn't like it. He feels like he lives in a publicity or something like this.
Danielle, there's nothing abnormal about basil puree.
Just once, couldn't we have a soup that people have heard of? Like French onion or navy bean?
And men don't like it because that puts a lot of pressure on them as well to be perfect.
I'm saying, do you always have to serve cuisine? Can't we ever just have food?
Are you doing drugs?
Being too strict to following the rules, and being too predictable also, and being boring. You know, when you follow exactly the rules, you become too predictable. There's no mystery, there's no surprise, there is no excitement, there is no sexiness. You lose the attraction, you lose the passion a little bit when you follow the rules and you're too strict with perfection, and you become kind of robotic. You can lose your personality in the chase of too much elegance. I love elegance, of course. I love teaching elegance on my channel, and when you take it to the extreme, I am not for it, because it's not fun if it's to the extreme, you know? The lady can sometimes be a bit close-minded. That's the downside also. So like she can be sometimes judgmental on other people that are not elegant, or other people that are not doing exactly things exactly like she wants it. The lady needs to find the right amount of elegance while keeping her personality and not making elegance just her main character and her main personality. It needs to be natural. It needs to come off as natural. Still being relatable, because people are charmed by relatability. Next archetype, the femme fatale. The femme fatale, or the siren, the glamorous, luxurious, sensual seductress. I feel like there are some archetypes that we all have in us as women. I feel like the femme fatale we all have in us as women, a little bit. Some have it more than others. She's sensual, she's sexy, very seductive, exuding glamour and natural sensuality. She can express her femininity in a delicious, alluring way. She has high standards and luxurious taste, just like the lady, and she's not afraid of showing it. She has a big level of confidence. She's very confident, and she can be very funny as well, very playful and sarcastic as well. And at the same time, very intelligent. You know, she's smart in her way of thinking, in her way of talking. Just like when you see Rita Hayworth and Gilda, just have this smart, sarcastic humor that is just very playful at the same time.
What did you say to him?
I just told him if the man answers, hang up. Wasn't that all right?
You can't talk to men down here the way you would at home. They don't understand it.
Understand what?
They think you mean it.
Mean what?
She incarnates the female ideal for men, inviting to an infinity of pleasure with a hit of danger. Voluptuous and superb, her body language expresses feminine seduction and sensuality. She uses her sensuality to express her femininity. Men feel fascinated by her.
You fascinate me.
But they can also fear her because of the power that she holds. Because she's never fully acquired by the men, which excites the most because it's something that you cannot fully have. She's able to attract male attention very easily through her sensual aura.
Is that all? No, that's not all.
She's mysterious and fascinating, and you definitely remember this woman, because being able to master her sensuality without being vulgar, still keeping the elegance, is very rare, and that's what makes her truly powerful, because the femme fatale is a sensual being, but it's an elegant being. Her grace and charm convey an irresistible desire to be with her, but at the same time she can have this cold demeanor which gives her this aspect of high self-esteem, which makes everybody wants to be around her even more. Whatever she wears, she can pull it off. Everything that others would be afraid to wear or that would be too much, she can pull it off. Like bigger jewelry, more extravagant clothes, she is a fantasy, almost theatrical, a mystic, divine, darker and more mysterious energy. Style inspired by the old Hollywood icons, by the old Hollywood femme fatales, by the old Hollywood glamour, like Marilyn Monroe, Rita Hayworth, Ava Gardner, Marlene Dietrich, and more recently also Monica Bellucci and Eva Green, for example. Also, if we take Desperate Housewives, because we took Brie Van de Kamp, I think that Gabrielle Solis would be the femme fatale archetype. Satin, red bodycon dresses, heels, sexy and glamorous in a tasteful way. Now let's talk about the downside of the femme fatale. If you take the femme fatale to the extreme, if it's a situation of seduction, it's no problem. But if it's, for example, a work situation or other situation, the femme fatale can be seen as maybe too sexy, maybe not taken seriously, especially if it's at work, only seen as a sex symbol, only seen as too seductive.
No, I love my husband. You've got me all wrong. You don't know how hard it is being a woman looking the way I do.
Also, if you take it to the extreme, being too mysterious doesn't allow you to actually build relationship. If you take mystery to the extreme and you're like completely like mysterious, no, I'm not telling you anything about me, anything, you don't know anything. Well, you can't build anything if you don't say anything. Being too cold or too distant and not being generous enough with your time also doesn't help you. I'm talking about taking a little bit of it and adding it to your personality, because we all have it inside, but I'm not talking about to the extreme. Being too manipulative and going too far, because she holds a big power with her ability to being very seductive, so she needs to be careful on that.
You left me without a word, purely because I indulged in a woman's trick to make you jealous. I wanted to be certain that you loved me.
You need to master this art and the fine line and the balance of this character between sensuality, charm, elegance and distance to master it and become a true femme fatale. Then we have the princess, the adorable, cute princess, playful, romantic, girly girl. She has a playful feminine energy, just like a Disney princess, a childlike energy a little bit. She can be happy very easily, lighting up the room around her, very bubbly and having a smile on her face most of the time. She sees the world through pink glasses, like this pink dress. Pink, pink, pink.
And someone across the way is playing La Vie en Rose. It is the French way of saying, I'm looking at the world through rose-colored glasses.
In a positive way, with a positive mind. She's the funny, childlike spirit.
Or I could pretend to be more like you, Jess, and live on a sparkly rainbow and drive a unicorn around and just sing all the time.
Yeah, I think you should sing all the time.
She has a more angelic nature. Men love her because she's a damsel in distress, and they love it because they feel like the hero with her. They feel like the protector with her. They love the fact that she needs them. They feel important with a woman like her. A man will feel admired by the princess. He will feel like a true man with her. She has a romantic feminine style. Her fragility is irresistible. She appreciates the little things, the little detail, the little things of life. She loves to see, oh my god, there's a little flower. I think this energy is so adorable. I love this energy as well. Very irresistible for men because you bring a lot of positivity. She is very romantic and idealistic, and she reminds us of the child that we once were. And we are then a bit nostalgic of this cuteness. Not stiff at all, a bit free and joyful, you know, full of energy, just like a little girl. And it is very attractive, very alluring. And this childlike energy is not something bad, it's something that actually light up the room and that makes you forget a bit of the boring life of being an adult. Because, you know, the responsibility and life as an adult can be sometimes not super fun. So having a childlike spirit and lighting up the room like this, and, you know, reminding yourself how you were as a child and the energy that you had, it's like bringing this innocence back, and it's so charming. Everybody that is around you, that is men and people, they will love that energy. A style with a lot of floral patterns, a lot of pink. Very colorful, a little bit inspired by, for example, if you say Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl, you know, a lot of pattern, a lot of color, a lot of mix and match, or a lot of dresses, a lot of beautiful princessy dresses, a lot of pink, a lot of pastel colors, a lot of maybe shorter dresses, or a lot of A-line dresses. Of course, you can have this archetype without dressing like the archetype, remember that. I don't know if that makes you feel that as well. Let me know in the comments down below, because me, when I put a princess dress on, I feel like a princess. I'm in princess energy and I'm fun and cute. For example, when I put a Femme Fatale dress on, then I'm mysterious and sensual and femme fatale, you know? Elle Woods from Legally Blonde is definitely on this archetype. She's so fun and so bubbly and so the spirit of a true princess. Very, very joyful. She can light up the room, and she dressed like also one, like all in pink, super beautiful and super feminine.
I'm planning this great mixer. You totally have to help me. I'm thinking like a luau or maybe like casino night. This is gonna be just like senior year except for funner.
You also have Tahani from The Good Place, in case you know this TV show. She dresses in always like the most beautiful dresses, and Josephine Baker also had this childlike mentality in her personality. And of course, let's not forget the Disney princesses. They all have this cute, very free and joyful and more optimistic and kind princess energy. Now let's talk about the downside of the princess if you take it to the extreme. Being too much in a childlike mentality, being too much of a child actually, and being too irresponsible. Well, I'm really young, but I'm still like, sometimes I feel like I'm not an adult. I want to stay as a child sometimes. And you know, the downside is that people can get tired of a child if you're too much like this all the time. The secret is actually to alternate between childish demeanor and adult awakening. In that way, little notes of that immature, naive demeanor will be very charming. Next archetype is the Bohemian. She is a natural free spirit. She loves nature, animal, like she's very free in her way of thinking. She's unconventional. She can really have fun in any situation. Her goal is to have fun in life. She's very, very, very spontaneous and very much unpredictable. That on the contrary to the lady that would be a bit more predictable, the Bohemian is very free and unpredictable. Having fun and living life to the fullest is her mantra. She has a big sense of humor, and she can be very adventurous. She's not conventional. She doesn't care about the convention. She's more free in her way of thinking and is more independent in her way of thinking. She might be sporty. She might go for a hike. She might go for like adventure. She can be also very sensual, in touch with her senses. Because she's very free and very wild, she can be a very sensual being. Tame her, you cannot control her. She is extremely free, like a wild animal. Just like with the Femme Fatale, men dream of taming this rebellious spirit. She is intellectually curious and loves to discover new things. She loves to travel. She loves to discover new culture. The Bohemian is completely open-minded. She loves to discover new things. She's not like putting herself in a box, or anybody in a box. A man will feel free and adventurous with her, fascinated by her ability to let go and relax. She can have a very strong creative mind. She can be very free and creative. A lot of artistic people are like this. They're absolutely the archetype of the Bohemian, always daring to try new experiences. Men can't get enough of her, but they cannot catch her. She is very alluring because of her free spirit. She can have all kind of style because she's not conventional, and I think that sometimes her style can be very unique as well. Because she's not like everybody else in her spirit, so her style can also translate that. You can have a style inspired by, for example, in Charmed, you have Phoebe Halliwell. I think she has a style like this that is very bohemian, a bit unconventional. You have also Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. She has a style definitely that is like this, that is very free spirit, not conventional at all. She wears whatever she wants. Like the style of Carrie Bradshaw cannot be put in a certain box. You cannot define it completely. It's completely avant-garde and very adventurous. Like she dares to try anything. The downside of the Bohemian now, the lack of irresponsibility, of course, being too wild, the lack of predictability, the lack of prediction and security. It's the opposite of the lady. In that case, it's being too unpredictable, if you take it to the extreme, because we need some security as human beings. Of course, we need to count on people, we need to trust them, and if you're too much like completely all over the place, then we cannot fully trust you. If one day you're gonna do this and then you say that you're gonna do something and then you don't do it, or you don't want it anymore, you change your mind every 5 minutes, not feeling secure with her because she's too wild and too free, not serious enough, you know, because, you know, men want a serious woman at the end of the day.
You call yourself a free spirit, a wild thing, and you're terrified somebody's gonna stick you in a cage. Well, baby, you're already in that cage. You built it yourself.
It's like the Bohemian needs to find the right balance between her wild side and her serious side. Last but not least, the charming nurturer. Nurturer, loving, caring, motherly. The nurturer loves taking care of others, and that's her main character traits. She loves to be devoted to her family, for example, to her children, to her mother, like to her husband. She's a true nurturer.
And you have fun in school today, Gracie?
How can I when the polar ice caps are melting?
Oh, don't worry about it. I put a snorkel in your lunchbox.
And people feel at ease with her. She's so comforting. A man will love it because he will feel a lot of support from her, and that makes him feel at peace, especially when he comes home from like a long day at work and he has this very nurturing, caring, loving energy. Then he absolutely loves it. I think we all have this nurturing aspect in women, but the nurturer archetype is really to the next level. She's extra nurturing. She's able to listen deeply and giving her devoted full attention to you. Anybody wants to feel special, and the nurturer makes you feel extra special, which gives her an intense power of seduction. She gives the impression that your life is so much better with her, that her simple presence makes your life exceptional.
But what's the real reason you don't need Imogene anymore?
'Cause now I have Fran.
Oh, I'm speechless.
Giving her full empathy when the person feels bad. You can absolutely count on her. She is someone that you can fully trust. She's very loyal, and her helpfulness is her ultimate charm. Her energy is like a comforting fairy tale. She can disarm a man with her warmth and attention, and with her he feels like he can be himself. He doesn't have to hide behind a mask or something. She can have literally any style because her description is more about her energy and her characteristic and her personality more than her style. The downside of the nurturer now, if you take it to the extreme, it would be treating everybody like it's your child, treating a man like it's your child, which kills the passion, kills the attraction completely. Giving too much and not having enough in return, being too much of a doormat, people using you because you're too generous with your time. Like, that's such a good quality to be a nurturer, but like, it's true that some people can use it, and then when she helps everybody but nothing gets to her in return and she's not appreciated in return. The key is to give and have reciprocity, and to not being available to everybody all the time. It gives even more power to the moment of attention and nurturing charm that the nurturer gives. So that's it for those archetypes, my darlings. I hope you liked it. So in terms of the archetype, I think I would be maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. I recognize myself in all of them actually. I think I'm a mix of all of them, but there are some that I feel more attracted to. I feel like I'm maybe more attracted to the Femme Fatale, obviously, because I'm obsessed with this archetype. I feel also attracted to the archetype of the princess because I feel like sometimes I love being in my princess, cute, a bit childlike energy. Maybe when I'm older, maybe in my 30s, 40s, I will go towards more of the lady, which I really love as well. For now, I think I'm a mix between like maybe the Femme Fatale, maybe the princess, maybe the Bohemian as well a little bit, because I love to be like a bit free spirit. I have a big imagination and a lot of creativity, so you know. So thank you for watching, my darlings, and don't forget, tell me in the comments down below which archetype you are. I really want to know because that's so fun. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Also follow me on my Instagram, which is @LisaHeartstyle. Take care, and until next time, I'm giving you so much kisses, my darlings. I love you all. Mwah. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic.